Roger, surprised that you came out and announced you are going to go ahead with strike action, even though there's still time yet for negotiations to continue. What's your reasoning?
Well, because it shouldn't really be a surprise. We've been saying all through this debate, this ballot has been conducted in line with all legal requirements, and it is a legal requirement that we give notice. We validate our ballot within a 28-day period. I think it should be remembered that the ballot result was over 3 weeks ago, so we didn't instantly react and give notice. We've left sufficient time for some activity to take place, which hasn't. We do have meetings this week, Wednesday and Thursday, but they've been instigated by us. But it is necessary for us to give notice to validate our ballot. If the talks are successful, then obviously that position could change. And equally, there will be a third party involved, which will be the Isle of Man Industrial Relations Officer, who has the authority to put off any notified action for a further 7 days if he indeed judges that the talks that take place on Wednesday are productive.
So this is just a bit of flexing your muscles, really, isn't it?
No, it's not about flexing muscle. We could have done that the moment we got the ballot. We've as I said, we've waited over 3 weeks. We have to give 7 days notice, and we believe we have to validate our ballot within 28 days. Otherwise, the ballot would be void. So we're trying to make sure we stay inside the legislation at all times. And if it was a flexing of muscle issue, we would have done it the moment we got our excellent ballot result.
In all this time since you had the result of that ballot, are you telling me that the management have made no attempt to contact you for talks?
No, we've written twice. We wrote to the chairman the moment we got the ballot result, and as I say, rather than sort of be victorious about our ballot result, we immediately wrote in a conciliatory manner, asking for a conversation to take place, not a negotiation, but a conversation between myself, representatives from the board and the government, to see whether the parameters for resolving the issue. Twice we've offered that, twice that's been refused. However, the business have now offered the chance to meet the executive negotiators committee Wednesday and Thursday this week, which obviously we've taken that, hoping that the perhaps more open and imaginative minds will prevail.
So a week today, what will we be seeing? Withdrawal strike of Labour for a strike, and then will you be putting Tynwald, for instance? Is that your plan of action now?
Well, no. The best case scenario is that an agreement is reached Wednesday or Thursday. Positive scenario would be that there's progressive talks taking place, in which case the validation of our ballot could still be done with agreement, with absolutely no disruption whatsoever. They would be the best case scenarios, or of course this could be stopped immediately and wouldn't have even taken place, in fact, if the offer of binding arbitration that we made hadn't been refused by the employer. But they could go back to that, they could offer arbitration, so there's a number of ways out of it, and that's what we're looking for. We've been looking for it ever since this campaign started. This is the absolute last resort. It's not where we wanted to be. And people that are judging us should remember that we offered to go to binding arbitration, which would have meant no ballot.
But have you got any faith in the management who you're dealing with? Because time and time again, you've made it clear you don't think you've been talking to the right people.
Well, we're going to those meetings in a hopeful mood, not necessarily in a confident mood. The real test of those meetings will be, of course, once we get in the room. And the fact that there's a third party in there, the Industrial Relations Officer from the Isle of Man, will be a third party making a judgment on whether those talks are meaningful, positive. So it won't just be us saying that. So, we're travelling in hope, but no, our confidence isn't high, mainly because when we've offered the more high-level conversation, not negotiation, conversation with the policymakers, the mandate makers, that's been refused twice. That is a concern.